Hey, this is Andy from heatdumping.com. Previously, we did a video on whether certain heat dumping devices can simply hold temperature in an air-conditioned room. So if you're interested, check that out. But after that, we were thinking what the next step should be. And we thought we needed to add some heat to dump into these devices. And we wanted to standardize a bit how we were going to add heat. And so we were thinking, if we typically are using this during workouts, it'd be hard to standardize doing workouts to fatigue. There are too many variables to make it equal amounts of heat dumped across all devices. So trying to think of an activity that can dump pretty equal amounts of heat across the board, because we just want to see how these products respond. So we came up with treadmill walking in an air-conditioned room. For this, we decided to walk on a treadmill at an easy pace, 3.4 miles per hour, no incline. So this is the pace that we actually were walking, and we decided we were going to hold the devices as they were meant to be used. So whatever the instructions were that were given by the different companies, that's how we use them. And what we did was for 5 minutes, we would walk on the treadmill at this pace. And then after 5 minutes, we would take the surface temperature using a thermopen. Thermopen is this device here that is accurate to 0.7 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat is measured at the tip. So we would do that. We would walk for 5 minutes. We would measure the surface temperature, and walk again for 5 minutes, measure the surface temperature, on and on for 60 minutes. And we realized this isn't the typical protocol for how you would use a heat dumping device. Generally speaking, how it works is you work out, you do your set to fatigue, preferably, and then you would use this ideally for about a minute and a half, 3 minutes during your rest breaks. It's not the typical use, but it'll give us a general sense of how each product reacts when heat is applied to them. We also did this on separate days. First thing in the morning to try to minimize the heat load that otherwise might be kind of variable throughout the day, depending on what we've done earlier in the day. And the temperature was also kept anywhere between 69 and 71 degrees, so fairly standardized there too. The results. So I'm going to give you the first 30 minutes of results using the 4 devices that we used, which were the CoolMitt, the Narwhals, the AVA anti-fatigue charge bar, and the Therabody RecoveryTherm cube. If you look at the first 30 minutes, let me orient you first. Again, we have blue lines at the 50 and 60 degree marks, which shows the optimal temperature that we'd like to keep the devices in order for the device to dump the most amount of heat from the body. So we want to make sure that all the lines stay within those bands between 50 and 60 degrees. So if we take a look at the red and orange lines, the red line is the CoolMitt, the orange line is the RecoveryTherm cube by Therabody. They stay fairly steady all the way throughout. If we next look at the yellow line, which is the Narwhals, it stays within bounds the entire time, but you see how it increases slightly as we get closer to the 20 and 30 minute mark. And finally, we have the green line, which is the AVA charge bar. You see that it actually, before the 10-minute mark, actually goes outside of the 60-degree bound and continues to go up. And after the first 30 minutes, we decided that we were going to discontinue the test for the AVA because there's no way for the temperature to come back down, and it had already gone up by the 30-minute mark to a level that was way beyond what is optimal temperature for heat dumping. So if we look at the rest of the test here, you'll see that the red line, the CoolMitt, and the orange line, Therm Cube, stayed very steady the entire 60 minutes. The great thing was the Narwhals stayed within range. First 20 to 30 minutes, it kind of went up, but the temperature stabilized. Even with us continually dumping heat over the course of the remaining 30, 40 minutes, it stayed within that 60-degree temperature bound, which was encouraging that it was able to hold that kind of temperature. So another little study that we did here at heatdumping.com. If you're interested in finding out more, check out heatdumping.com. We'll also have more videos available for you. Check it out.